Bring in our chief investigator, Cheryl Fiandaca. Now, we've been talking about this all day. We were here on Saturday night. Yesterday, police in Providence put out that picture of a man who they said was in, quote, close proximity to the man they were then describing as a person of interest. Since that period of time, an awful lot has changed in this case, and so much new information has come to light. Let's talk about what we've learned.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of information has come to light. One of the things that came to light pretty quickly today was the connection between the Brown University shootings and the shooting in Brookline with the MIT professor. So that was the first thing that came out. The other thing that came out is that they now know who the suspect is. They know who they're looking for. They have their identity. They also have an arrest warrant for that person. That second person that they wanted to identify, you can see him right here. This is a photo that they put out because the investigator said this person was in close proximity to the person of interest. So maybe that person knew more than just being in close proximity. Maybe that person saw the person's face, had an interaction with them, may have given them something, may have known them, but maybe some of the information developed from that person could have led them to be able to make the connection. The other connection that was made that kind of tied these two cases together was the idea that they found a car in Brookline, a rental car, that was connected to the Brown University shooting. And that car was tracked all the way to New Hampshire, where my sources said that car was found abandoned. So a lot has happened, really, within the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, Cheryl, because throughout the week, I mean, we were listening to people in Providence who were very upset about how the investigation seemed to be going. If you watch the news conferences, they sort of just kind of went on and on without a lot of information. People using the word bungled, but behind the scenes, there's always a lot happening. You worked with the Boston Police Department during the Boston Marathon bombings and everything that happened there that week. It just goes to show you, there can be a lot even when the public-facing part of it seems to be very little.
Sure. I mean, you know, in every case, including this one, you saw at the news conferences that the police were saying that they got hundreds of tips. And they said that they would go wherever those tips led them. And in many cases, they lead them to dead ends. So they have to follow up on all of that. In addition to that, they said that they found some physical evidence at the scene. Whether or not the physical evidence may have connected the two, maybe it was ballistic evidence. Maybe they found the same shell casings at the Brown University shooting that they found in Brookline. Maybe it was DNA evidence that they found at both scenes that connected them, thinking, okay, we have the same person committed both crimes. So we don't yet know what connected all of the dots, but something certainly did.
And do we know anything now about how they're pursuing this individual? Like, are they in the air, on the ground? Ed Davis was saying earlier, when you get into a busy area like that, you begin to bring in members of your team who may look like delivery people, and just to sort of help bolster your effort to take this person into custody safely. Do we have any sense what this looks like right now?
Well, I think we talked to Ed about this earlier, and he said, now that they know who the person is, they're able to find out, okay, who was that person in contact with over the last few days. The cell phone pinging, which I think we're all familiar with, but there are other things that they can do as well in terms of forensics to try to capture this person and figure out where he is and where he's heading, where he's been, and who he might be talking to that could be either helping him or know where he is.
But it also means that this person now knows that they're hot on his tail and he's desperate, and things very dangerous until you get this person in custody. And so we want to have this situation where the people in Rhode Island can feel safe, and the people in Brookline can feel safe, and the people now in New Hampshire can feel safe. This is a very sort of tenuous moment.
Oh, it's an awful moment. I mean, you remember during the Boston Marathon bombings, once they put those photos out, while that didn't necessarily lead to their capture, they were desperate. And that's the night that the MIT police officer was shot and killed.
Yeah, Sean Collier was killed, and we had the manhunt. And now we also know that he's not in that vehicle. One of the key clues that they had in order to track him was something that they connected to both of the crime scenes. He's not in that.
No, but they may be tracking him in another way that we are not aware of. And, he is obviously aware at this particular point that he has to be, right? I mean, all of us are on the air talking about this, that he is very much being sought. Yeah. So this is the time generally when, putting out information like this, maybe he'll make a mistake, or maybe he'll do something that he wouldn't normally do, and they'll be able to apprehend him. But it is certainly a challenging time for sure.
Excellent. We so appreciate your expertise, Cheryl. Thank you.
She's got her phone right in front of her, and her sources seem to be texting every few minutes. And Cheryl, thank you so much. And of course,